All right, everybody, welcome. This is week 2, episode 2, EDEL 518b, and I'm excited to see how the groups have formed, and we finally set those in stone today. It's also important for you to remember that next week is actually spring break, but I hope that you have everything done for this week so that you don't have to worry about anything during spring break at all. However, definitely reach out as groups if if you have any concerns about anything at all, or if you need to meet. I know that right now we're like in this really weird situation with everything going on in the schools. Kind of being forced to have these leaves right now is really tough. And I'm curious to see how you all are handling it and kind of what is the plans within your districts, within mine. Right now, it's kind of just everything came unexpectedly, but again, it's really different, and it takes some getting used to. So let's just hop right into it. Let's see. So during our first week, you created teams, you took on specific roles, and then you determined whether you were creating a tutorial or a drill. Your team also determined what the focus would be of the tutorial or the drill. And if you haven't done this, make sure you do this as soon as possible. Now, the major focus for the next couple weeks is the planning process for the tutorial or the drill that your team is producing. This includes the analysis phase. In the expectations for week 2 and 3, I have detailed what you need to complete, and please get to these tasks as quickly as you can. Let's see, let me go into them. So week 2 and 3, you could begin to just begin to go through them. Your team's gonna want to put together their overall plan for completing your project. The goal your team needs to shoot for is to begin the design phase, which is phase number 2 of the instructional design process by the end of week 3. And after I've given feedback on your team's planning and analysis documents, so let's see, during week 4, your team is going to move into the development phase and actually begin creating your tutorial or drill. It seems like it's further away, especially with the break in between, but it's really just a couple of weeks away. Now, part of the planning process is to put together your analysis document. And as I mentioned in the weekly expectations for 2 and 3, one of the trickiest aspects of the planning phase is the concept and the task analysis. And the goal is to make sure your team is crystal clear with the concept and the skill that the tutorial or the drill is focusing on. So look at the examples that I put in Dr. Eddie's class, and then you'll be able to see kind of what their skills and their focus were, and you'll also be able to see the examples of their planning design or their planning process and their task analysis. Um, so for example, if you're creating a tutorial on multiplying fractions, your team needs to determine all the steps or sub-skills that your students would need to know in order to be able to work through the tutorial. This will also help your team as it designs and develops the tutorial. I'm going to closely monitor how this part of the project goes for the teams, and I'll jump in when guidance is needed. Now, speaking of guidance, I've gone through and I'm going to continue to go through the documents that you've shared in Google. And throughout the semester, I'm going to be leaving comments, asking questions. Now, your Google Doc doesn't have to be the main way that your group communicates. However, it's a great place to update me on the work that your team is accomplishing, and it's also a great place for me to leave you feedback. Now, speaking about updates, starting with week 3, which is going to be when you come right back from break, everyone's going to need to submit a personal update on what you contributed to your team. And you're going to find a link in the week 2 and 3 expectations that takes you to a Google form where you're going to submit that personal update. Now, you don't have to do it for week 2. Again, it's just at the end of week 3. You're going to update me at the end of weeks 3, 5, and 7. And as the week 2 and week 3 expectations mention, I want to meet with you, with everybody by the end of week 3. But if you want to meet before that, we can meet as well. Do your best to get everybody there, but let's not hold up scheduling a meeting if one person's out, especially because the teams are a little bit larger. Your team should have the planning and analysis documents completed before we meet. So ideally, when we meet, that's where we can talk about your planning documents. As for now, everything is going well. Definitely happy developing. And then you may have noticed a new little thing that came up. And so here in the Dr. Eddie's Class App Store, you'll go in, and I started a leaderboard. You can be winning gold stars, and these gold stars are going to get awarded to groups just based on, let's see, it's going to be based on showing exceptional creativity, teamwork, and just all-around total awesomeness. It's a real serious accomplishment here because if you win the gold stars at the end, you get a larger gold star, and that means that you're the most amazing, talented, and awesome group in the history of EDEL 518b, Section 57, Spring 2020, which is quite the accomplishment. But Fab 5, I want to go ahead and give them a gold star first for being the first group to get up there and create their team in the document. So big shout out to them. Woo, woo, woo. And then to Primary Power. And Primary Power, thank you, because they stopped by in my office hours. I was actually, well, I had the green screen, but it looked like I was in the Caribbean, and it made me feel like I don't know, like I literally was in Ivory Tower. Maybe that's how I'll do my check-ins. I'll have an actual ivory tower around me. But great job. Keep working hard. Reach out if you have any questions, and happy developing.